I just found the parking spot. It took like, I don't know, maybe like 45 minutes, 55 minutes, something like that. It was just ridiculous. There was like nowhere to park. And I just kept driving around in circles. The traffic, it wasn't as bad today. Well, yeah, I mean, it was still bad, but it wasn't as bad as it was yesterday. Alright, well, yeah, I think I'm gonna stay indoors because it's like, it's chilly out there. I'm gonna like make YouTube videos or something like that. Okay, well, hit me up a little bit later when you guys come back around. Alright, what up YouTube? It's your boy Jermaine back with another video. Guys, let's just jump right into this. 5 reasons why driving in San Francisco just sucks. Now, if you guys don't know me, my name's Jermaine. I make YouTube videos. Of course, I'm on YouTube. I make videos like pretty frequently. So when I am in San Francisco, one thing I usually do is rent a car. Just like I did this week. I rented a car this week. Now, the last time I rented a car in San Francisco was like, I don't know, maybe 5 months ago. Since then, I've been bouncing around quite a bit. Like, I've spent some time in New York, spent some time in LA, and I've also spent some time in San Francisco without a car. This week, I'm back in a car, and I'm just noticing some things that just really sucks about driving in San Francisco. First off, I want to talk about the parking situation. Now, a lot of videos like this, people usually talk about the parking at the very end, but let's just talk about the parking situation. So for the past 4 days, I've had a rental car, and now out of all the days I've had this rental car, I've probably spent anywhere from 1 to 2 hours each day just looking for a parking spot. And I bet you're wondering, how can you spend 2 hours looking for a parking spot? I'll explain to you how you spend 2 hours looking for a parking spot. I would hope you wouldn't spend 2 hours looking for one parking spot, but maybe 2 hours to look for a total of 5 parking spots throughout the day. Let's say you had to go here, you have to go park, maybe you have to circle around the block 4 or 5 times. Okay, so the parking thing can be just out of hand. Like, parking can just be really tricky. For example, you're driving down some streets and it's tow away at 5 p.m. or it's tow away from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. So you do not want to park there because you will get your car towed. Some streets, or most streets, you can only park for 2 hours if you are not from that neighborhood. If you don't have the correct neighborhood sticker on your bumper, you can only park for 2 hours, and you would have to basically get in your car, move your car to another block, and then you get 2 more hours if that block is a 2-hour block. Some blocks are 4 hours, some blocks are 2 hours, but if you're like in downtown, there's usually no free parking. It's usually like meters, and more meters. So parking can be a mess, and not even talking about the expense of parking. I'm talking about just looking for a parking spot to put your car in, regardless of the price, if it's free or not. Parking is just like not the coolest thing. Like, you really have to work hard at parking sometimes. Reason number 2 while driving in San Francisco completely sucks, by the way. Traffic. Now, I will say traffic is not the worst in San Francisco as I've seen in other cities. However, during certain hours, it really doesn't matter because traffic is just really bad. Places like LA, I would say the traffic is probably worse in LA because the traffic is just like all the time. Like, I can get on the 405 at like 3 in the morning and there's just cars sitting on the 405 at 3 in the morning. And I'm thinking, what are you guys doing? You're sitting on the freeway at 3 in the morning. Where are you guys going? And come on, it's LA and you see hundreds of cars on the freeway. And you're just like, wow, I guess everybody's got something going on at 3 in the morning. You come up here to Frisco, you won't really have that problem. Driving around 3 o'clock in the morning here, well, I've never really ran into any traffic jams really, unless there's like a women's marathon race going on at 5 a.m. And those don't usually happen all the time. So why does the traffic suck so bad here? Because the traffic all comes at one time. It's all rush hour. It's all from 7 a.m. through maybe 7 p.m. Not only do the streets fill up with cars, but the streets also fill up with construction. And the construction is what really makes the traffic really bad. When you take a 4-lane street and there's construction workers working from 9 a.m. through 4 p.m., that's the majority of the day. When you have construction workers taking up 3 lanes, and you got 4 lanes of cars that need to go down this street, and they all have to merge from 4 lanes all the way down to 1. You know what that's going to equal? That's going to equal a traffic jam. That's what that's going to equal. And that sort of thing happens quite a bit around here. And in the summertime, if there's not like crazy things going on in the media, there's like crazy protests, and like literally I've been stuck on the Bay Bridge for like 45 minutes because there's just a protest. Like, there's just people on the bridge hey, we're having a bad day, we're gonna close off the bridge and we're gonna inconvenience everyone because this thing that we are standing here protesting is so important that you don't need to cross the bridge right now. That's one thing that can be kind of tricky is traffic. Honestly, every city has traffic, but check this out. San Francisco, the traffic is definitely got a whole lot worse, and some people even blame it on Uber and Lyft because you've got a lot of Uber and Lyft drivers on the road, you know, driving around trying to pick up people and drop people off, make money. And you also got Uber and Lyft drivers driving from places like Sacramento and Los Angeles and Texas and just all over because they want to get to San Francisco and make that money up here in San Francisco. Now, reason number 3 why driving in San Francisco completely sucks, it kind of goes back to reason 1 with the parking situation, is it's tickets and tows. Now, knock on wood, I hope that's wood, I have yet to have a car towed in San Francisco. I have yet. It is a horrible thing to go through because you know what happens? You walk outside and you're thinking, oh yeah, I'm about to get in my car, I'm about to drive off. I'm about to go, I'm about to do this. I got this plan, I got this, I'm gonna go over here, and I gotta wait in traffic before I do any of this, right? So you walk back over to the place where you left your car and your car is not there. So the first thing you think of is, maybe I parked on another street, or maybe someone stole my car, or maybe the city of San Francisco stole my car. Yeah, maybe the city of San Francisco stole your car. A lot of times, that's what usually happens. The city of San Francisco, they'll take your car from you. This happened to a friend of mine once. He was visiting from out of town. He stayed for like a month or so. I was dropping him off with his car and he's like, I parked right here. And I was like, oh, where's your car? And he's like, oh, I don't know, I parked right here. I don't see it, maybe someone stole my car. And then we called the police, tried to figure out if someone stole the car. Then the police basically told him this and told him that and told him this and said, yeah, people steal cars all the time and this city tows cars. And like 2 hours later, we figured out the city had his car and he had to pay I don't remember, I think it was like $550 to get his car back. And you know how long his car was towed for? His car was towed for less than 3 hours and he had to pay like $550. Yo, tickets and tows are just not cool. Tickets and tows are not cool. When you get your car towed in San Francisco, how they really put the icing on the cake, what they do, a lot of times the meter maid will show up to your car before the tow truck driver. It really depends on the time of day and the neighborhood, that sort of thing. But usually, if the meter maid shows up first, they're gonna instantly write you a ticket. And then they're gonna wait on the tow truck guy. Usually tow trucks get here super fast, really fast for the most part. But if you're able to get to your car after the attendant has already written the ticket, well, you only have to pay the ticket and you can drive away in your car. But what happens to most people is they get the first ticket and then, maybe the tow truck's not there or maybe the tow truck's already there. But then they have to pay for that first ticket, but then they also have to pay for the tow too, and you have to pay for this before you can get your car back. And let's say you're the type of person, you got a ticket the week before, and then you got a ticket the day before, and then let's say you got your car towed on the same day. So now you got 3 tickets to pay for plus the tow. It could easily run you $1,000 for your car hanging out at the tow yard for 3 or 4 days. And also, if you don't pick up your car the first day, charge an $80 fee per day, it can get really, really expensive. Reason number 4 why parking in San Francisco sucks: car break-ins. Car break-ins. If you're watching this video right now and you do not live in San Francisco, let's say you want to come to San Francisco. Let's say you want to come to San Francisco in the future. Listen to the words that I'm about to say. Car break-ins are just notorious all over the city. It doesn't matter what part of the city you're in, all over the city. I've heard of people getting their car broken into in front of police stations. I've heard of people getting their cars broken into on the most busiest street. The other night, we were standing outside this really busy restaurant and there was a car parked out there. And you can tell that this car was not parked out there for very long because of the street sweeping signs. This car had a smashed window. And I was trying to figure out okay, this is an extremely busy street. There's always hundreds of people walking down the street all the time. There's cameras around, there's cars driving by, there's people usually waiting outside of this restaurant. How on earth did someone break into this car and get away with it? I just don't get it. I just don't get it. People that break into cars around here, they are professionals, bro. They are professionals, and they know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly what neighborhoods to go to, and they know who to pray after. If you come to San Francisco, on a road trip, please keep your car empty, okay? The inside, keep it visible. If you want to put things in your trunk, never ever park your car, then open your trunk and put stuff in your trunk. Never do that. You know why? There could be someone standing outside watching you. Wow, they're putting a backpack into the trunk. Wow, there's 3 girls are getting out of the car and they're putting all their backpacks into their trunk. What do you think could be in their backpacks? Maybe a computer, maybe a phone, maybe a wallet, maybe some money. Now, what do someone has to do to break in a car around here? Nothing, just break the window. That's about it. Like, it's so easy. So guys, if you ever come to San Francisco as a tourist, or if you live here and if you live here and you don't know this information, this is very important and you should know this information because this happens all the time. Just look at the car break-ins. Like, car break-ins happen so much around here that it just goes unreported because for what reason? So yeah, someone broke into your car and stole, a jacket. Or someone broke into your car and stole your cell phone charger. Like, I mean, come on, are you really gonna call the police and say, someone broke into my car and stole my cell phone charger? Yeah. No, you're not gonna do that because the freaking window costs more than the thing that they took. And a lot of times that's usually the case. They'll break in your car window to steal something that costs like $5, but then you have to take the time out and go get a new window, go pay for the window, go to find the place that puts the window in San Francisco. Reason number 5 why driving in San Francisco sucks. The cost. It's expensive. It's very, very expensive to own a car in San Francisco. I would have to say it's got to be one of the most expensive places in the country. I cannot think of a place that would be more. Maybe New York. Now, I spent most of the summer in New York, and for the most part, it did not look like parking was the hardest thing in the world. Like, I remember going to certain neighborhoods and even certain parts of Manhattan, and I see parking spots. Another thing about New York is I definitely did not notice as much broken glass on the street like you see in San Francisco on a normal day in a nice neighborhood in front of a police station on a busy street. It's definitely a luxury to have a car in the city. And I love the feeling jumping into a car, especially when it's chilly like it is right now. Yesterday was like super, super warm. Like I was riding in the car with the AC on full blast. And now the tables have turned and it's freezing again. So it's nice to just jump into a car, but jumping into a car is not cheap. Jumping into a car in San Francisco will definitely cost you a pretty penny. Parking can literally cost you more money than the car payment. There's a parking garage right downstairs that charges $250 a month for parking, and we call that around here cheap. I would say the average price of a parking spot is like $300 a month. However, in certain neighborhoods, that can be up to $500 a month. Now think about it. If you're driving a Toyota Prius costs less than $30,000 on average. Some Priuses cost $25,000. If you got a used one, maybe it's $15,000. Your car payment on a new Prius could be, $300, $400. So could you imagine paying $500 for parking on top of that? I mean, think about it. $500 on top of that. I mean, I know people who pay more money in parking than they do their car insurance and their car payment. So just think about that. And not only to forget, parking meters are very expensive in the city. So think about it, living in the city and parking can be very expensive. If you live like in the Tenderloin neighborhood, you can roughly pay like $300 a month for parking. And then let's say you get in your car and you drive and you want to go on the other side of town, well, you may have to pay for the meter, and the meter could usually cost anywhere from $2 to $3 to $4 per hour. And if you want to go to a parking lot, you can look for a parking lot, but parking lots can be pretty dang expensive too. A lot of parking lots charge, $30, 25 to $30 overnight parking. And if you are a tourist and you are staying in tourist areas and you're going to be staying at a hotel, you're going to drive in from out of town, don't be surprised when you go rent a car and you're able to rent a car for like $30 a day or maybe $40 a day. But then you get to San Francisco and you try to park at the hotel and the valet is $55 a night or the valet is $60 a night. Guys, if you think $60 a night is not enough, the most expensive parking I found for valet at a hotel was $75 a night, and that was for an oversized vehicle. And oversized vehicles in San Francisco is like a Tahoe or a Yukon or definitely a Suburban, like anything like, bigger than a normal SUV. Or a lot of times, a lot of parking lots will even charge $75 if you have a van. So just think about that. You paid, $30 to rent like a little Ford Focus to just drive around San Francisco and you check into your hotel. They're about to hit you with another $55 per night to park the car. So it could just be really expensive. And if you're a tourist, you don't want to get any tickets. You definitely don't want to get your car broken into because that's just more things you gotta deal with. And you know, guys, I just really wanted to make a video just talking about 5 reasons why I just don't like driving in San Francisco, 5 reasons why it sucks driving in San Francisco. I don't know, I just wanted to make a video talking about driving in San Francisco, that sort of thing. But anyway, guys, thanks a lot for watching. Like, comment, subscribe if you're new. Check out my channel. I make content frequently, usually every day. But yeah, thanks a lot for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and peace out.